Hello, hello, hello. Y'all come on in here. I just want to talk a little bit about clutter today. Because I don't like clutter. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Everybody should know me, especially on Facebook. But I am Felicia, the Anointed Trainer. But anyway, what I want to talk about today, I do something for someone on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I'm excited about it for that, for one reason, for just getting up, obeying God, and getting my butt up out of that bed. So by me doing this voluntary work, it gives me an encouragement to get up, like I said, out of that bed, because I stay in the bed even though I'm up, but I need to get out of the bed because I use my bed now. I call it my office bed. Like I said, but anyway, we're not going to talk about that today. But what I want to talk about today is clutter. A lot of people don't understand when you're holding on to clutter, it's an emotional thing, and you really need to seek God and ask God why you're holding on to clutter. Because when I go in this place with all this clutter around me, because I cannot stand clutter, and I believe this because that was part of the process when God was renewing me, creating me new. When I was telling you, he pulled a lot of stuff out of me because I used to be one of those person that would hold on to things because I didn't want to let it go. Hold on to things because somebody bought it for me years ago. But like I said, when you're holding on to clutter, it does more to your mind than you realize. And so basically what I did, I just Googled something, asked them, why do people hold on to clutter? Why do people hold on to clutter? It hit right on point. Because like I said, when I was in the process of God was pulling out a lot of stuff in me. When I decluttered my house, this was part of it. And when I tell you, I went from room to room decluttering my house. And basically what I done, of course they tell you what you need to do. Because I'm going to give you the 5 tips that they gave me when I did my Google. But the way God had me to do mine is I went in each room of my house. And when I went in the room, I asked God, what do I need to let go of in this room? And he told me everything, step by step, what I need to let go of. And that's what I'm telling you. When you're holding on to a lot of clutter in your life, clutter plays with your mind. And if you're a creative person, it will hinder or stop your creativity. And that's what this clutter will do. So like I said, when I walk into this area, I was trying my best to, do what they need me to ask me to do. But when it comes to clutter, I cannot work around clutter. I hate clutter. So my husband, if you're watching this, I pray that you do not like clutter because we ain't going to get along. Because I'm telling you, I like things with simplicity. If you come in my house now, it's very simple. I used to fill up every wall in my house. I used to fill up every crack, every corner. I mean, if anything was blank on my wall, if anything was empty in a corner or something like that, I thought that I needed to put something in that spot. But like I said, you come in here now, it's peaceful to me. It is clean. It is clutter-free. Because like I said, I cannot stand clutter. But I'm going to do you what they say that the reason why we hold on to clutter. They say, why do we hold on to clutter and how to let it go? Clutter is more than just physical items that take up space in our homes. It often reflects our emotions, beliefs, and behaviors. And for many of us, letting go of clutter can feel overwhelming. And in the process of when, like I said, when God took me through that process, it definitely felt overwhelming because again, I didn't want to let go of a lot of this stuff because I've held on to it for so long. And then we be thinking that we can use it later on. But in reality, when I started decluttering my home, like I said, I decluttered my house from the bottom all the way to the up in the attic. That's how serious it was. And when I tell you I got rid of so much junk, I hate to call it junk because that's pretty much what it was. Even when it came time to clean out my closet, it's the same thing. If you're holding on to things, they say if you haven't wore things in a year, then you need to get rid of that. I mean, simple as that. Because only thing you're doing is cluttering up your house. You're cluttering up your closet. Like I said, then your mind, it just don't flow like it needs to flow. But like I said, but today I went to this place and we decluttered the space that I'm be working in voluntarily. And when I tell you, I had to thank her for helping do this, because when I tell you my body, it did something to me, because it's like I came alive. Because I don't know if clutter, like I said, it definitely would kill your creativity. So I don't know if that's what was going on with me when I went into the space. But when we got through, and like I said, I thanked her. I almost was in tears, because that's just how much joy it brought to me when we decluttered their space. So if you got a lot of clutter in your home, try one room. I'm going to get to this. Focus on one room at a time and notice how your body starts shifting. I'm telling you, let go of this clutter. If you're one of these people like hoarding, that's a serious, that's even worse than clutter. But you need to let go of that stuff as well. But like I said, because it plays with your emotion, and then it plays with your belief and your behaviors. For many of us, letting go of clutter can feel overwhelming. But why is it so hard to part with things we no longer need or use? The answer involves psychological behind clutter. Okay, one main reason we keep clutter is sentimental attachment. Items can hold memories and feelings, so getting rid of them can feel like losing a piece of ourselves. That was one of the things, even when my brother Jody died. I was going through some of my pictures, and because of some, because I had to say, well, part of my pictures, when God was taking me through this process as well, I had to let go of a lot of things that well, most of y'all know I was married. So the things that had me and my ex-husband was together on, I had to get rid of them. I did not throw them away. So what I done was I gave them to my children, because that was even though we're not together, it was still part of their life. So I just basically passed all of that on to them. But like I said, one of the things that even with and I didn't cry over this stuff, I just let it go. But one thing what I did cry on was, I had a picture of my ex-husband and my brother Jody on this particular picture. Now I did cry with that picture because it was a part of me but I had to let go. But again, even in that process, I gave all of that to my girls. So it was still part of their life, but it just don't have to be a part of mine anymore. So this is part of the things like I said, that sentimental stuff. We're holding on to a lot of clutter into our homes, into our lives. And but if we let go of all of that and learn how to let the new stuff come in. Like I said, clutter is one thing. It's one thing. It really irks me, and I didn't realize the seriousness of it, because, like I said, my home stays clutter free. But when you go in other people's homes, other people's areas, you cannot go into their place and tell them what they need to do. I could try to suggest it, but sometimes people don't hear what you're trying to suggest. And some people just like clutter. I mean, me personally, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. But like I said, so getting rid of them can feel like losing a piece of ourselves. We also fear of letting go, fear of the unknown, and fear of loss. A clutter can act as a source of comfort or security. We keep things because they make us feel safe or familiar. For some, clutter distracts from emotional pain and trauma. And that's what I wanted to get to right there. And that's why a lot of people are holding on to a lot of clutter, is because they haven't dealt with some trauma that's going on, went on in their life. And that's one thing I can thank God. I can really say that He has really set me free, because when I went into this place and it was cluttered, it was, when I tell you my body, it just couldn't function like it needed to function. But the moment we decluttered that spot today, oh my God, when I tell you my body came alive in this space, it came alive. And that's what I want us to realize. Start recognizing the signs that's going on in our bodies, even the signs that's going on around our atmosphere, because we don't realize just how we be attaching ourselves to these things, and it's really hindering us more than we realize. But I'm going to keep reading. Moreover, some people feel guilty about throwing away something they bought, or hold on to things just in case they might need them later. These emotional and psychological factors can make decluttering a difficult and emotional experience. I did have, like I said, when I did my process, like I said, I started from one room and moved to the next room. And basically all I did, like I said, I asked God when it was time for me to declutter, I asked Him, what do I need to throw away in this room? And once you ask God that, and if you're serious about decluttering your house, He will tell, well, He did with me. He will tell you exactly what it is you need to let go of. Some of it, like I said, I was holding on to books and something. And if you really think about it, a lot of this stuff, these books and stuff we're getting, a lot of this stuff people are giving to you. It could have some, I'm going to go ahead and say, some demonic attachments to this stuff. So that's part of the process that God was dealing with me. He started pulling a lot of things out of my home that did not need to be in my home. Hey, Janice, how you doing? God would steady remove a lot of things out of your home if you ask Him, what is in my home that do not need to be in here. Because I was listening to the other day, she was talking about crystals, a lot of those, they call it dream keepers and all of this stuff. All of this stuff is demonic stuff. And that's what this is what part of the thing that God is wanting to do with us. He is wanting to continue to clean our homes, not just our home. He wants to clean this temple. And that's what He was doing with me. Like I said, when you're dealing with clutter, like I said, I cannot stand clutter. I cannot stand it. But I didn't realize the seriousness of it until we decluttered this space that I would be working in. And it's amazing. And here's a few tips for letting go of clutter. Letting go of clutter can be tough, but it is possible. Here are some practical tips to help you declutter. Like I said, start small, because that's what I did. I started one room at a time. And then not only did I start at one room at a time, I put a timer on it. If you want to do 20 minutes per day in that one particular room, so that way you don't have to go through, take your time, process your emotions and all of this stuff, and ask God, what is it that even if you want to ask Him, why He want you to declutter your rooms, He will tell you why. Like I said, again, some of us are receiving gifts from people, and we don't realize what these people have spoken over these gifts. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but we're living in a world that People are just people. That's all I'm going to say. People are people. And then when, but with God, he will show you what you need to let go of. He will show you why you need to keep it, all of this stuff. So this is one of the part, but the why I was doing what my decluttering was to get my life when I was, well, most of y'all know I went through a divorce. So God was showing me what I need to let go of. And that was part of this process, was my decluttering. And that's why I make sure that my home stay decluttered. Because like I said, I cannot stand clutter. But I didn't realize, again, the seriousness of it until these few weeks I've been dealing with some clutter. for somewhere else, clutter somewhere else. It wasn't in my home. Then it says, begin with a small area or specific category, like one drawer or closet at a time. Because that's like I said, that's what I need. You will be surprised of some of the stuff that we're holding on that, like I said, if it's been over a year, you haven't used these items or things within a year, they need to be in the trash. Because I guarantee you ain't gonna know, you would not miss it because you haven't used it in a year. You don't even know it was there. Period. I guarantee you. But the minute you start decluttering, those emotions going to start coming up. But you're going to get with God, ask God to show you how to process all of this stuff and let it go. It's got to go. It's gotta go. Well, it had to go with me. I tell y'all, I'm not going to force no one to do the things that God was wanting me to do. Some phases people go through different phases. But when he took me through these phases, that's why I say when people go through divorces and stuff like this, you have to be careful. That's why I say you don't need to jump from one relationship back into another relationship. You really need to sit down and allow God to process everything that you went through. Because if you don't, you taking what you had before into your next relationship, when God can turn around and really bless your marriage, and it's going to be another level. That's not what I'm going to be talking about today, but to be the next thing, I want you to be mindful. Notice your feelings as you sort through your items. Ask yourself why you want to keep something, and if it adds value to your life. That's why I said, if you, especially if you ain't seen it in a year, throw this stuff away. Throw it away. Practice gratitude. Focus on what you are keeping and why. Take a moment to appreciate the items that are meaningful to you. Like I said, just sit down with God. You're going to hear me say that again, because this is one of the processes I've done. I sat down with God. Each room that I went through, like I said, each room of my house, I went room by room. Like I said, if you're going to start small, put your timer on, 20 minutes the first day. If you got more than 20 minutes, do an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. But once that timer go off, stop, process what you have done, and then move, wait till the next day and start again. Doing the same process. This is what I've done, the same process. And when I tell you a lot of clutter got out of my home, and clutter will not come back in my home. That's why I say, husband, if you're watching this, I could pray you're not a clutter freak. Or not even a clutter freak. Those people that like to hoard stuff, that's on a whole nother. I don't want to call it a spirit. I guess you can call it a spirit, because that's a whole nother level right there. You really need to sit down with God and ask God, why are you like this? What trauma in your life that has caused you to do this? Because it is some serious traumas. Notice I said traumas that have happened in your life, and you really need to allow God to deliver you and set you free, because that's serious. Then you need to practice gratitude. Focus on what you are keeping and why. Take a moment to appreciate the items that are meaningful to you, because I did that same thing. Then set boundaries. And to stop clutter from building up, set limits on what you bring into your home. Before buying something, ask if you really need it and if it will enhance your life. That's what I say. I don't bring clutter in my home. I don't, even when I just decluttered my books, not my books, my CDs and my DVDs and stuff. And a lot of this stuff I gave away. See, there was tapes and stuff. I told this person, did she want these tapes? I don't listen to tapes anymore. I mainly really don't listen to my CDs and my DVDs because I'm on YouTube. But some of my stuff on YouTube, I mean, things that I have in my DVDs and my CDs, you're not gonna find on you might find it on YouTube, I don't know. But either way, some of this stuff, the material that I have is very vital to me. So I really had to go through there and decluttered all of this stuff. Because like I said, I'm learning if I'm not watching this stuff, I'm not listening to this stuff, then plant a seed to somebody else. This is what I'm telling you, plant a seed. Just if it has benefited your life, then plant a seed and set it and give it to somebody else so they can receive the same benefits that you did. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to help you declutter. Because like I said, I can't stand clutter. And then seek support. I don't think I did that one, but if you really, like I said, a hoarder, then you probably gonna need some support. Because I've never been, I probably was a little bit, but I've heard people that have really done this. But I've never been a hoarder. But I've seen some movies up when people couldn't even get into their homes and stuff like that. I'm like, oh Jesus. I ain't. But decluttering can be emotional. So consider getting help from friends or family. You can also work with a simplify your home professional. You know they hit them. Organizer who can guide you through the process. I'm not that person. Like I said, I did it. The steps that I did, the way I'm talking to you, telling you what I done. All I did was sat with God, room by room. I asked him, what's in this room and what do I need to get rid of? And I'm telling you, and my home is peaceful up in here. What I tell you is peaceful up in here. And that's why that's why I was saying I can't go in somebody else's home or somebody else's business or somebody else's, environment and go in and to start throwing away stuff because that's not my place. But I didn't realize the seriousness of clutter to me until today. Till today. And that's why I decided to do a little research and just decided to come on Facebook Live. Because I don't do this live stuff. But I said because I couldn't write it down because it's too long. But I really wanted people to understand when I came alive. My body literally came alive once we decluttered this area. So that just shows me, like I said, it definitely, if you are a creator, clutter will stifle your creativity. I mean, it really will. So you really need, if you are a creator, even if you're not a creator, I believe we all are. I believe God designed us all to be creators. But we have so much stuff in our visual views that we cannot even hear what God is trying to tell us. So this is all. Like I said, I just had to share that today, even though it wasn't mine. I went on there and then I had somebody else. What's that AI? Chat GPT, whatever his name is. He just retweaked it. Yeah, retweaked it. So they can't say I stole their stuff. So I didn't steal their stuff. So Chat GPT rewrote it. But anyway, I'm going to tell y'all what I do. But I'm not trying to hide nothing. But that's what I did. So, but like I said, so if you're dealing with clutter, like I said, go through your room, go through your house and room by room. That's what I done. Room by room. I set my timer 20 to 30 minutes per day. That's what I did day by day. And I decluttered my home. And when I tell you I do not like clutter, I do not like clutter. So I make sure my house stay clutter free. But like I said, I cannot change somebody else's area. But today, I recognize just how clutter and me don't get along. We would not get along. So that's why I keep telling my husband, if you hearing this today, so husband, don't bring clutter into the house. If you like clutter, we probably don't even need to be together, because you're going to get on my nerve and I'm going to get on your nerve. So work on that now. Let God pull that clutter out of you, because God does not want us to be cluttered. He does not want our spirits, our spirit man, to be cluttered. Because if we're so cluttered in our minds, cluttered in our spirits, we can't even hear God. I mean, even like I said, even if you are a creator, you won't even have your creativity. I'm telling you, it will not work. It will not work, because you got so much clutter around you. Your mind can't even focus on the things that you need to be focusing on. So I promise you. Well, that's how it's been doing with me. I like I said, I clutter. We don't get along. We don't get along. So that's all I got today. I got somewhere to be at 3:30, but I wanted to spend a few little minutes. I pray one long, but I'm trying to get better. I just wanted to share that little information about clutter and how to get rid of clutter out of your home, out of your life, out of your spirit, man, because that's all it's doing. It causes so much turmoil in your spirit. It really does. A lot of people don't understand why they're stressful. It's because of all that clutter you got around your life. I didn't try to laugh, but that's all it is. You got clutter in your mind, clutter in your spirit, clutter around you. You can't think straight. You cannot think straight. So y'all have a good day, and don't forget to move that body. Be blessed.